All right, so welcome everybody. We'll start with standing, just with a little bit of easy movement, just real light through the shoulders, nice and slowly. Just kind of feel that movement. You might hear some crackling, right, if you're pretty tight through your shoulders. Nice, one more time. And then we're gonna bring that right arm across, hold on to your tricep, pull gently, and then drop your shoulder down. So when I pull across, that shoulder wants to come up, pull that shoulder down. So pull it down right there. Feet a little wider. Remember, you can always set down here. Pull up through the crown of the head, pull the right shoulder down, and then lean over towards that left just a little bit. So I'm not trying to crunch left ear to left shoulder, but I'm just getting that extra space around my neck. Nice. And then we're gonna hold this neck position, open the arm out and reach it down. And so your other hand's just kind of wherever, hip, side, hanging. Reach through those fingers. So my palm is facing forward here. And then I'm just gonna rotate that palm behind me. Maybe up towards the sky, pause there. And then rotate it down and slowly up towards the sky the other way. Pause there. Nice. Let that palm come down, facing the ground, flex the hand. And then release. Take a couple of light, easy neck rolls. Just one way. And then work it up center. Take just a moment. You probably feel a little bit lopsided. My right side of my neck feels so much longer than the left. So we'll even that out first, starting with pulling that left shoulder across. You can kind of hold your bicep or right here. Pull the shoulder down. And so we're creating that space around the neck. We're opening up behind the shoulder blade, but mostly we're doing this to get into the neck. And then I don't want to crunch and undo everything here on the right side. I just want to lean over. So I'm still keeping that length on the right side as well. And I'm pulling that left shoulder down, creating that space. Few breaths here, and we'll just kind of move through this position. And then opening that left arm up, reaching it slightly down and away. And then again, my right hand is just wherever it feels best to me. Think about lengthening. And rotate that left palm down behind you and up towards the ceiling. Nice. Welcome, everybody. Look at this full house. And then rotate down, around, up towards the ceiling the other way. And just trying to take that full range of motion. Oh, it's Emily with baby. Oh, one of our newest VFit babies. Oh, so cute. And then bring that palm so it faces down. Flex the hand. So lift that hand up. And then relax the arm. Just carry through with those neck circles 3-4 times the other way. Oh. Pause for just a moment on top, and hopefully you feel like your neck has just grown an inch. We're going to take our feet, separate them out a little bit, let those hands slide onto our quads. Bring that chest down towards the ground. Press your tailbone one way. Pull the crown of the head forward. Enjoy all that space that you've just created in the neck. Take this right arm, so my fingers are kind of wrapped around my quad. Drop this right shoulder towards the center. Lengthen long through the spine. And then I'm just kind of twisting the whole back as one piece, and then let the neck twist a little bit more as you look back over the left shoulder. So what I want to think about doing most is making the spine long, so tailbone one way, crown and head the other, and dropping this right shoulder down. Try not to round and hunch in, nice long spine. Nice stretch right around that right shoulder blade. 2 more nice long breaths here. And then come center and shake it off a little bit. Reset. Pull long, drop the left shoulder in. Pull long one more time. Make sure you're really pulling long. And then twist, looking up over the right shoulder. So keep thinking about lengthening the spine. Anytime we twist through a spine, we want to really think about lengthening it, pulling the vertebrae away from each other so we don't mash into the vertebral disc. Nice. And then come center, and then just allow yourself to start forward hanging. Take your heels so they're right behind your toes. Your toes are faced forward, and then just allow that head to start to hang. So this would be a perfect place to support yourself, your upper body a little bit with a chair if you didn't want to hang all the way down. Otherwise, we're just gently bringing the top of our head down towards the ground. Shift that weight a little bit out of the heels. Trust yourself to lean forward just a bit. You might even be able to, some of you, drop down kind of onto your forearms. And then bend your knees a little bit here. So everything stayed the same. I'm just bending the knees, dropping my glutes, feel that stretch into the inner thigh. And then rock my glutes side to side a little bit. If coming all the way down is a problem, remember your hands could be up on that chair. They could be resting on your hips. And we're just kind of working this mobility here in our hip area. It might actually feel like a little bit of work, not a stretch, but it is getting some good motion in that hip flexor. Nice. And then from there, kind of give yourself that space you need, and let's come on down onto the ground, starting with this toe or foot stretch. Take the toes, curl them under, set back towards the heels. You can keep your hands on the ground if your feet are pretty tight today. You can try walking them up, see how that feels. You can always bring them back down to the ground as needed. We work here right around our ankles. Oh, maybe shrug your shoulders a little bit. My shoulders are feeling great after all of that stretching through the neck. Nice. 2 more nice long breaths here. Nice. And then bring those fingers to the ground. We're going to lift the knees up, rock back towards the heels, but pull the top of the head forward. So you kind of keep that weight forward, getting this nice stretch through the shins. Again, if this is too much, being this far down onto the ground, you can always use a chair, a couch, anything in front of you, and be a little bit higher. Because this is a lot of flexibility through the ankles and the knees. And then maybe wiggle that around a little bit if you can. And then come on over onto your bottom, choose a foot, just lift it up, roll out that ankle. Nice, right there. Wiggle your toes. And then the other side. Just releasing all that through our ankles. Then we're going to come into that forward fold position. So stretching those legs out long. You can sit on some pillows. Again, you could sit in a chair and have your legs long coming out of the chair And then just leaning down towards your toes. So if you find that this is a really tough position to be in, sitting in a chair is going to give you a fabulous stretch, or even up on a little bench or up on several pillows, because it's going to make it easier for you to tilt forward and stretch all the way down the back of the body. If you can reach your feet, you're welcome to hold them. You could use a strap as well, but you don't have to be able to touch your feet. So just finding that place where you can get this nice forward stretch. And give yourself a minute, not a full minute, but just give yourself a little bit of time here to just take a moment and breathe. All right, so we've been in kind of, some pretty deep stretching positions. So in this forward folding, let your body not only stretch, but just relax. You can tuck your chin a little closer to your chest and feel that stretch deepen. It's a great way to feel that connection through your back fascia line. So all the way from the very base of your head, that occipital lobe, down both sides of the spine, you might feel that travel through the low back, around the glutes, through the hamstrings, down to the calves. You can just really feel that connection. And then on our inhale, working our way up. Bring one leg in. If you want to just make it easy for us all to be on the same side, you can tuck your left leg in. We'll take that right foot up and over. Right hip may come off the ground, so sink it down to the ground. And if that means that your right foot comes up off the ground, that's okay. If it doesn't stay on the ground, and then just start to hug this right leg in, pull tall through the spine, and where you stretch up towards the sky. A little bit more of that stretch you'll feel down the IT band and the outer hip. Now, if you want to add a body twist to this, right, we could start to twist towards that right leg, looking over the right shoulder. But you don't have to. You don't have to twist to get a good stretch. Think about your right sit bone, right there, part of your pelvis. Think about it pressing into the earth and pulling up tall through the crown of the head as you hug that right inner thigh in. So you might notice if I slouch, if I let myself slouch down, the stretch kind of disappears, and I'm also bringing my back into horrible alignment. So I'm going to pull tall. Two more breaths. You can let out a deep breath, deep sigh, if you like, feels good. And then we'll take that over to the other side. So untwist, and then we'll uncross. Right foot comes in, left foot comes over. You can always keep that right leg straight. Sorry, I forgot to say that on the first side. But many of you know that. My left hip comes up. I want to try to sink it down, hug in, and pull tall. And then maybe twist towards the left if I want that little bit more added. Got that left sits bone connecting into the earth, growing up tall out of your spine. A couple more breaths here. And release. Then I'm going to give you a couple options for your inner thigh. So you could take your seated butterfly, You could take your seated straddle, or if you're at home and you're like, ooh, I have a couple of minutes after class, you could go ahead and lay down into reclining butterfly so that you're giving yourself this awesome inner thigh stretch. And then you could just stay here. We've got about 30 seconds officially left in class. And then you could just stay here going into a Shavasana or staying here a little bit longer. And giving yourself that extra minute or two. Of course, if you're at work and you have to get back to work or any of that, you don't have to lay on your back. You can take this seated butterfly or seated straddle, either one. But either way, hanging out here for just maybe 2 more breaths. Letting that tension leave. And then if you do have to get back to work or get on with your day, we are officially out of time, but I will end that meeting, so feel free to hang out down there on the floor if you like for a bit longer. Let me close out our